Have you ever wondered why certain men, especially older ones, seem to carry an irresistible magnetism that makes women unable to stop thinking about them? It's not magic, and it's not luck, it's strategy. In this video, you'll uncover the 9 Stoic techniques these men use to win not just a woman's body, but her mind and her heart. And let me warn you, the final technique is so powerful it could permanently change the way you approach relationships. 1. Strategic silence. In a world where everyone talks non-stop, silence becomes a lethal weapon of attraction. Older men with a Stoic mindset understand that they don't need to respond to everything or fill every second with words. They wait, they observe, and they allow the other person to feel their presence without constant interruption. This restraint creates intrigue and makes a woman wonder what's going on in your mind. When silence is used wisely, it communicates confidence, calmness, and power. It's not avoidance, it's calculated control. It gives you time to assess the situation, read true intentions, and respond with precision. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to be like the one who hurt you. Staying silent shows emotional mastery, and to a woman, that is deeply attractive. 2. Dominant eye contact. A man who masters the art of eye contact doesn't need to raise his voice to command respect. Older men with a Stoic discipline know that the eyes reflect inner strength. When you look at a woman steadily, without nervous blinking or hesitation, you project certainty, resolve, and a magnetic energy that draws her in. It's not about intimidation, it's about connection. Every glance should communicate, "I know who I am, and I don't need your approval." This kind of eye contact creates a powerful psychological impact. Women sense they're facing a man who doesn't crumble under pressure, a man who stands by his principles. Marcus Aurelius said, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good." When your gaze reflects self-control and purpose, you don't just attract, you command respect. Remember, a confident look can achieve more than 1,000 charming words. 3. Slow and deliberate communication. Older men, grounded in Stoic wisdom, understand that speaking less, but with intention, is one of the most seductive tools. In a society where everyone rushes to speak, the man who measures his words and controls his tone creates an irresistible aura of mystery. It's not about being cold, it's about making every word carry weight. When you speak slowly and without anxiety, you show that you're not in a hurry to impress anyone. This makes a woman pay closer attention, waiting with curiosity for what you'll say next. Calm speech reflects emotional control, confidence, and experience. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that calmness is a man's strength. A deep, steady, unhurried tone is more captivating than any embellished speech. A woman feels she's in front of a man who listens, reflects, and decides before he speaks. And in female psychology, that equals power. 4. The ability to walk away with dignity. An older man with a Stoic mindset understands that not every battle deserves to be fought. True strength isn't always about staying. Sometimes it's about knowing when to leave, calmly and without resentment. In female psychology, a man who doesn't beg, who doesn't cling, but preserves his dignity even when stepping away, radiates magnetic power. When you remove yourself from an unfair situation, from a relationship that disrespects your values, or from a woman who doesn't reciprocate sincerely, you send a clear message: my peace is worth more than any attachment. This controlled detachment, rooted in Stoicism, leaves a lasting impression. As Marcus Aurelius taught, the noble man stands firm in his principles, even if it means walking alone. The ability to leave, not from anger, but from serenity, often makes a woman reconsider and return, this time from a place of respect. 5. Strategic silence. A mature man with a Stoic mentality knows that not everything deserves an immediate reply. Silence, when used intentionally, is one of the strongest tools in emotional dynamics with a woman. It's not about ignoring her out of pride, it's about mastering the impulse to react. When you apply strategic silence, you show that your world doesn't revolve around her, that you have a full life and a level of self-control few possess. This sparks intrigue, and intrigue is the first step towards deep attraction. In Stoicism, Seneca said that nothing is more powerful than a man who governs his emotions. Remaining silent in tense moments prevents impulsive mistakes and places you in a position of strength. For a woman, a man who can remain quiet and observant instead of arguing or over-explaining becomes mysterious and compelling. It's not coldness, it's self-command, and that is addictive. 6. Unshakable consistency. An older man who truly understands Stoicism doesn't say one thing and do another. His values, actions, and words align, making him trustworthy and magnetic. In a world full of contradictions, consistency is rare, and women notice it immediately. When they see you uphold your principles under pressure, when you refuse to change your stance just to please or gain approval, you're perceived as solid and difficult to manipulate. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is right, do it. If it is true, say it." That is the essence of consistency. It's not about rigidity, it's about integrity. For a woman, a man who stands firm in his beliefs, even if it costs him something, radiates a confidence that inspires love. You're not chasing approval, you're living according to your truth. And in the female subconscious, that signals value. 7. Strategic silence. A mature man with a Stoic mentality understands that speaking isn't always necessary. Silence, when used wisely, can be more powerful than 1,000 carefully crafted phrases. When a woman tries to provoke you, pressure you, or even manipulate you emotionally, the average man reacts instantly. But a high-value man knows not every challenge deserves engagement. He stays silent, observes, and allows the other person to reveal their true intentions. In female psychology, silence communicates self-control, mystery, and authority. A woman interprets your lack of need to justify yourself as proof that your worth doesn't depend on her validation. As Epictetus said, "Don't answer anger with anger." Sometimes the strongest response is no response at all. The space you create through silence isn't emptiness, it's an invisible force that makes her reflect, seek your attention, and recognize your emotional mastery. 8. Calm leadership. An older man with a Stoic frame doesn't need to shout or assert dominance to earn respect. His leadership comes from serenity, consistency, and firmness in action. He isn't ruled by impulses or momentary pressure. He evaluates, decides, and acts with composure, even in tense situations. Women perceive this composure as magnetic. It's not arrogance, it's presence. A calm leader communicates that he knows where he's going and that nothing nor no one can easily push him off course. That energy creates emotional security and stability, qualities many women deeply desire. Marcus Aurelius expressed it wisely. True strength is remaining steady in the middle of the storm. When a man leads with quiet strength, he doesn't just inspire respect, he builds trust. And trust is what makes a woman want to stay by his side. 9. Unbreakable authenticity. The secret weapon of older men with a Stoic mindset is uncompromising authenticity. They don't pretend to be someone they're not just to impress. They don't shape themselves around trends or other people's expectations. Their thoughts, feelings, and actions are aligned. Women sense this inner truth instantly. It's not about physical looks or material status. It's about the calm confidence that comes from living without masks. An authentic man isn't afraid to lose someone for speaking the truth because he knows anything built on falsehood will eventually collapse. That authenticity forms a deeper emotional bond than any seduction tactic because it communicates trust and transparency. As Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." A man who lives his truth doesn't chase, he naturally attracts. And when a woman meets someone like that, she remembers him, respects him, and often doesn't want to let him go. Final revelation.
After learning the 9 Stoic techniques older men use to create deep attraction in women, it's time to understand the core of real power. It's not about manipulation, it's about self-mastery. The man who truly conquers isn't the one who forces outcomes, but the one who remains centered through any emotional storm. Patience, authenticity, and self-control are master keys that open doors where others only see walls. When you become the owner of your emotions, when you raise your value without seeking external validation, you create a natural and profound attraction. You don't need to shout or force anything. Your presence speaks for itself. This inner strength doesn't just attract women, it also frees you from the chains of ego and neediness. Real freedom comes from not depending on outside approval to feel whole. Marcus Aurelius summarized it perfectly. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts.